What's up, hustlers? Hope you out there hustle hard and staying safe. It's your boy Gig Hustle PJ sliding in for another video. Alright, y'all, man. Years ago, about to be almost 6 now, man. My first gig app I started with was Doordash in January of 2019. So boom, I was doing it. I wasn't doing it at its best, but even before I started doing Doordash, I started to go online and look at videos, learn how to do it, get the ins and outs of it and stuff. But I somewhat had the perspective that I need to get a quote-unquote real job. So I end up in period, I think I did Doordash for the first 2 months or whatever in between after working whatever, and I still had a warehouse job. I ended up getting a warehouse job, working that, and then I ended up getting another warehouse job or whatever. So I'm thinking, real job, I needed that to survive, blah 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 blah. But anyway, eventually that summer I was finna get my kids. Now I just got out for doing 6 years incarcerated, so that was gonna be my first summer getting my kids to coming. They was in Memphis, Tennessee to bring us, so I was bringing them to Chicago. Now thank God I had people with my back to help them get into a summer camp for that. But the problem with the summer camp for that first summer of 2019 was that the hours were not working with the job. I wouldn't have been able to get them to camp on my own, and I didn't want to stress nobody else out, and I would have had to try to figure something out. So I was like, dang. So I'm like, man, I got to figure something out. So it was the warehouse job, was a temp job. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna have to go all in on Doordash at the time, because I'm like, I can't do this, and it's a temp job, whatever, but I gotta see my kids. I ain't seen my kids physically in years, so I wasn't everything. I had to put all in on that one. So I'm like, man, I gotta go all in on Doordash. I gotta see what's up. So boom, I doubled down on it. I started to work it hard. I try to get doing the part time, and did prior to like a week or so before I had to go get the kids, I went and started to just go real hard, doing it full time. I took off like 2 weeks prior to it and started to learn the ropes and started to figure out how to make money. I'm like, man, as long as I make XYZ. I think my number back then was like, as long as I make over $69, I beat what I was making at the warehouse full time. So as long as I made $69 or better a day, I think it was like 64 is a loose change. I just broke the numbers down literally by the check, what it was after taxes, all that little BS or whatever. So I did that. Eventually I got into my groove, learned it. It started to work out for me sweet. So the kids eventually came, and I was able to get them to camp and go and work. And thank God, eventually I got accepted to almost the same week I got accepted to the catering program. Man, that made it sweet. At the time back then, the catering program used to be pre-day. Used to see catering orders for the next day on this little special screen that Doordash had. It used to be under your ratings. I think it's been a minute, and you used to be able to click it, and everybody see them at the same time. So you used to pick the orders, get it, pick the ones you want, but you got to hurry up and get it. You got to hurry up, click it, and accept, because everybody can see it. So boom, that came into that program started, and it was cool. It almost quadrupled my money. It was great. So I was able to make a full-time living off just the catering program. Then, like all you all guys know, eventually, like a year or so later, they took it. They took that part of the program. But in between, and I'm going too far, because before it was 2 versions of the catering program when you used to be able to pick it. It was one of the regular versions, and then when you did so many orders, no, it was 3. I'm lying. It was 3 versions. It was one you did the regular orders, and then if you did so good, do so many, they got to see them an hour early, because in my market used to be everybody used to see them at 7 o'clock. But then if you got a higher level and you got your rank up, you was able to see it an hour earlier than that. And that was like 6 o'clock. But then, if you become a preferred driver at the store, if you go to the store and they like you, whatever, you tell them, hey, Doordash, you make me preferred, then you get to see it an hour. You get to see all the orders from that store an hour earlier than that. So you can see, so if it was like, trying to think of a national store there, but Chipotle didn't have preferred and McDonald's didn't have preferred. I'm trying to think of a national store that had it, but like that everybody know. But like Portillo's is real popular in Chicago, but I know it ain't everywhere. But let's just say that, use that example, which I did have Portillo's. Now the cool part about that was when you get preferred for one store, you prefer to every one of that. If it's a chain, you would prefer to all of them stores. So if it was Portillo's, it's a major chain in Chicago, I would prefer to like over like 20 to 30. I think it's like 20 Portillo's in the local area. And not just Chicago, but local suburbs and all that. I used to see all their catering orders. I'm talking about hundreds of orders. So with that, and then I ended up getting preferred to like 5 stores. It was great. Then they took it away. It was lovely. I'm talking about, I was not doing regular orders, and I think that's why they took it, because it was you had to get to the catering program, you get that, one no more regular order. I'm talking about, I used to go days, have multiple 6, 7 caterers every day loaded back then. It's 2019. It was great. And then of course they took that all away, and that's when DoorDash started getting stressful to me, because now I went to you being able to pick your orders, so now you got to sit outside and wait and hope that orders come, instead of going to sleep that night before knowing you got X amount of orders. So that was a stressor. Then so I still, I got to the groove. I happened to get out at certain times and just hope you get the orders. And back then you was able to decline as much as you want. I had a 0% acceptance rate. Waited till the caterer orders came and then just did them. But it still was that part of unknown, and that was a major part when DoorDash became stressful. Then it started. Then Top Dasher came into play. And at the beginning of it, you didn't really see a difference. It was just like, all right, well, they're doing more orders and they did that, but I was always able to dash now. My market, it was just a whole different world back then when Top Dasher originally came. But then eventually they started, tweaking up the system to where the Top Dasher started to get the best orders, in which I wasn't participating in. So I'm like, cool. So then my value started going down. So I'm like, I started getting, started making less and less, which made me just start focusing on other apps, because DoorDash stresses me out. So I think I attempted that Top Dasher before. Very, very stressful to me. No offense to nobody else, but it was when you coming from everything I just told y'all before, the smooth, the stress to doing Top Dasher, it's just a whole different world. Like really. So you gotta excuse us veterans. It's a switch, and it's hard. So you can't get mad at us when we had it so sweet. It's like, apologize, and it's not saying, and I'm talking about, it wasn't just me. Everybody had it sweet. It wasn't everybody in the market had it sweet who wanted to use the system. If you want to be a Top Dash, all that, use, do you. We was eating good. Then it transpired to something else. Top Dasher came, then the high priority, the Diamond program came. Now we here with the Platinum program. And all in all, what I'm saying is, the moral of this story is, hey man, when DoorDash stop trying to make DoorDash work for you. If it's not, stop trying to, force DoorDash work for you. If it ain't, force DoorDash to work for you. If it ain't working for you, you just gotta move around, Joe. It just is what it is. You can't just keep sitting here, oh, they need change, or these strikes and all that stuff. They gonna do what's best for them, and you gotta do what's best for you and your family. If it ain't working, just switch it up. Like I did. I started focusing on other apps, but I had an emergency. If that didn't work, I would go to a job. I'm not going back to a warehouse job. I would work like early morning stuff, because I can still make good money at nighttime and some of the weekends. Maybe the weekend. I don't know, weekends get iffy now too, but if it ever just became to where I just couldn't do the apps full time no more, I just configure it over to where I just make it work, or do other things though. But we can't make DoorDash our end all be all. It just is what it is. You just can't make it do everything you want it to do. Sometimes you gotta just see the writing on the wall, like, this ain't working for me, so let me just figure something out. Because some of you guys be like emotionally attached to DoorDash, like really in a real relationship with DoorDash. It's not your friend, it's not your favorite sports team. It is a app, it's another way of making money. But if that stuff does not make money the way that you're comfortable with, or you have to sacrifice way more just to get a little bit, then just leave it alone. You're not losing. You was winning, and then it changed. You didn't change. The app itself changed. So don't act like, I don't know, I guess people like they losing, or they what's, no, it's not. It's not your fault all the time. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you could change your strategy up and maybe see. But if you exercise every means to make it better, go to different, I'm talking about as far as going to different markets, switching up your strategy, probably add shopping pays. If you do everything everything to your power to try to make it work, and it still ain't work, just let's leave it. Just fall back from it. You will not be, nobody will shame you, nobody will do nothing, because I did. And honestly, right now, as a recording, I've actually been having the best experience with DoorDash because I barely do it. And when I do it for 2 hours, in and out. Whatever I make in that 2 hours, that's what it is. I could have just been doing DoorDash now at the time record. I'm like, but I had a bunch of caterers. I know y'all gonna say everybody don't got caterers. Okay, I have a different situation that doesn't depend on DoorDash, is what I'm getting at. I could have did it, but it's cool. I'd rather just do other stuff and try to do other things. But I understand, like, hey, get a job. If the apps ain't working, get a job that just kind of, you know, float you by, whatever, something you comfortable with that doesn't tear your body up suggestively, you know. That's just me suggesting that. But you do not have to convert yourself over to make an app work for you. It's just not the It's something that you download to your phone that you can make money for, and that's all it is. Use it the best way you can. Right now, it is sweet for DoorDash for me. I'm telling you, like, I honestly don't have nothing bad to say about them right now because I'm only using them a little bit. Like, even right now, I think about set rate like at 63. Why? Because I only do 2 hours. I skip a lot of days. I don't do it every day. I don't go out there for an hour. I'm not doing no 40 hours off DoorDash no more. Nope. I'm literally tiny part-time in it. Maybe some of you guys have to consider it after you push everything. Now, it's not me telling you to be lazy. One day, get your money, go out there and figure it out, but do not force it. If you gotta, it's cool if you gotta move around, go to other areas and still make the money you make with 8 hours or whatever, but you gotta do 12, 13, 15 hours to get what you used to make. Just leave it alone. Drop it. It's not worth it. Because if you gotta make, you have to spend way more hours trying to get what you used to make, you're losing way more than you like to really think about. Everybody, you gotta work 3, 4 hours, extra hours. You're losing way more. That's way more gas, way more wear and tear. Don't do it, man. Just let it fall to the wayside. Figure something else, another way to work it with other ways. If not, hey, it is what it is, man. Hey, if y'all made this far in the video, touch the bottom of my heart, for real. Hit that like and subscribe to the hustle. Hustle out. Peace.